Welcome to another unit in this VBA course. In this unit, I'm going to talk about so-called if clauses. So you might recall these if clauses from Excel. Not like if this and this is true, so if this condition is fulfilled, then do this and this. That's basically what we're going to do here in Excel. So what I want to do at this point is I want to have this output, which I realize only being shown via message box if both of these entries are positive. Well, the logic is relatively straightforward, so I go if, then I want to have this variable being larger, so I'm just writing down variable 1 larger than 0. Okay, then I have two choices. So the first choice would be to go with then. And then I'm testing for the second variable. If the second variable is larger than 0, then do the output. So this is more or less the logic we already know from Excel. There I also go if condition, and then with the then condition, second condition. And only if both are fulfilled, then do what you want. Part here. In Excel, I also need to close the parentheses, so here I need to close the corresponding if clause as well. And I'm closing an if clause with and if. So I have to do two and ifs to tell him this if clause is ended at this point. So I only do what's here in between the if and the and if this condition is fulfilled. And the outer if clause only contains this part. Okay, and if I run this, well, obviously it works because both of the entries are positive. If I switch this one to being negative, have to be negative, then nothing happens because, well, as I said, both are positive, and I can only enter this if clause if this entry were positive. Okay, so this is a way to actually tackle my problem. This is basically the logic of a typical if clause. But this is a bit, lot to do, lots of work, and it's not this nice if I just go if. The problem also is, this works fine if both conditions need to be, established at the same time. But if I have either this or that, or both, then I would have to repeat the whole clause afterwards again. So I might be interested in a bit more sophisticated approach to this. And I can get this done with something also familiar from Excel. And in Excel, if I had two conditions which need to be true, I simply combine them with an AND. Whereas in Excel I had and then put first condition, comma, second condition. Here I can put my and in between the two conditions. So here I can go variable 1 and variable 2 should be larger than 0. And well, we see this works because here he automatically already detected the and to be a functioning part of this if clause. And well, as I said, I can do this with and I can do this with or. Or means if this is fulfilled, this is true, or both of them are true at the same time. So here, obviously, both of them are true, so I will enter here as well. So this is the major logic behind if clauses. Can one final comment? This comment is, well, here I only combined two conditions with an or and an and. If I have more than two, this might become a bit more complicated, especially if I'm mixing up ors and ands. So here it might make sense to always order this with some kind of parentheses. So if I have this or this and the output should be larger than 0, then I would go and put it like this. So this is one side of the AND, this is the other side of the AND, and this side of the AND is fulfilled if either one of the two or both of them are fulfilled. So this way, I'm building more complex conditions. However, to keep my head clear of how and what have to be fulfilled in which order, I would always recommend work with parentheses. There's an inherent logic to this as well, but as I said, you can very fast lose track of what is actually happening here. So always work with parentheses. With those closing words, I can only say I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more on the topic of VBA, feel free to visit the rest of the course or have a look at the corresponding playlist. I say goodbye and see you next time.